Good evening, you guys. Good evening to all my embracers. This is Grace from Embrace the Grace, and we got a good one tonight. We got a good one tonight. So for anybody who doesn't know me or this is your first time here, welcome. I really do appreciate you coming in and supporting the live. As you can see, I have a banner there, hashtag Embrace the Grace 23. So if you feel something that moves you to donate and support the live, I would appreciate that. Anybody on Facebook, please move over to YouTube. I would appreciate that too. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So again, for anybody who really doesn't know me, my name is Grace, and I'm here to embrace truth, to embrace my truth, and to embrace your truth. And I'm here to have the awkward conversations and the uncomfortable conversations, the ones that need to be had, but nobody wants to talk about it. I'm okay with addressing these issues because you know what? They affect me indirectly and directly, and the people around me. So, what are we talking about tonight, ladies and gentlemen? We are talking about the single mother epidemic across the United States. Or do we even have an epidemic? Do anybody see a problem with what's going on? So the question is to embrace or not to embrace. So I am going to wait until more people come in to really get into the meat of things. I do have quite a few little clips that I want to show you. I have my colleague JVJ from Let's Talk JVJ and the JVJ network. I'm using a couple of his clips. I'm definitely using a few clips from Mr. Let Go. Shout out to him. I admire and respect his tenacity and audacity on his topics. I don't agree with everything, but you know what? At least he's out there putting the word in. At least he's putting forth the effort. And that's what matters. You know, a lot of you guys in this lifetime sit on the sideline, like to sit on the bench and watch life pass you by. Some of us make life. Some of us are in the actual game, playing the game. And then I do have one clip from Angry Man. Shout out to Angry Man. You guys go check out my colleagues on their YouTube channel because, again, we're very similar in thoughts and everything that we stand on. A lot of people are not going to may not like me after this show or may not agree with me. But I'm with the men on this one. I really am. We have to stop blaming men for everything that's going on wrong in our lives and start taking accountability, ladies, because at the end of the day, it's a woman that has the final say if she has a child. It's a woman's choice to require marriage. But we out here having babies and getting pregnant like it's cute. We out here spending thousands of dollars on baby showers with a baby daddy, but not a husband. We out here raising children without fathers in the household and think it's cute when it's not. And I hate to see it because then you wonder why the kids of these past 2, 3 generations are so lost. And this is one of the root of the problem. So please sit back, go get a snack. I try to keep my lives under an hour, but if it gets juicy, hey, it gets juicy. You know, we're gonna keep it that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and post the link. So for anybody who is ready to come on the panel to join me in the discussion, to give me their thoughts, I would really appreciate it. So let me go ahead and start addressing my comments. So I have Mr. Philip Redding. He's one of my day ones. Mr. Phillip, thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate your support. And then I definitely have Mr. Gary D. And thank you for coming and showing your support. I have the link there, so you're welcome to go ahead and let me know when you clicked on it. And so I mean let's get started, because this is not an easy topic, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you ladies are gonna get pissed off, and you know what? If that's what needs to happen, then get pissed off. I've always heard it's better to get pissed off than pissed on. Ah, but anyway, the point is, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's not working. What we've been doing is not working at all. We have too many kids out here lost in the sauce. We have too many kids out here suffering from depression. We have too many kids. We have too many kids over here just not doing right. Hold on one second. I got a guest that's ready to come on. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Gary D?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Can you
I
hear me?
appreciate you coming. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yeah. Good, good, good.
I really, really do appreciate you coming on, because I know this is not going to be an easy topic, but it it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
There is a problem, and then especially a problem in our community. I don't know about over there. I'm only worried.
Right.
I'm only worried about over here. So I'll tell you what. I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell people who you are and where we can find you, so we can go ahead and follow you and follow your work. Go ahead, Mr.
Well,
D.
thank you. Uh, good evening, everyone. I want to thank Grace for having me as a guest on her show. My name is Gary D. I am I am the president of Boardwalk Global Media. We are uh, a boutique multimedia entertainment company that deals in podcasting, music, film, television, and so forth and so on. I'm also owner of ESI Global Group, which is a entertainment management and consulting company. You can find me on Instagram at Gary D underscore ESI BGM. And on Facebook, you could find me Gary, and my full last name is DELAMOTHE. So I'm always on Facebook and Instagram on my business pages. And if you want to email me in terms of business questions or anything like that, my email is esi.global, GLOBAL, .GROUP @gmail.com. And thank you, Grace, for having me. And yes, I'm ready to get into the topic.
Absolutely. So listen, I got my next guest coming up, because I did plan this. It was very
Okay, good,
strategically
excellent.
planned. So give me just a moment. Let me go
Take
ahead
your
and add him
time.
on. Hey, how you doing, sir? Thank you for coming on to the show. I really do appreciate you.
I am
Can you
great.
hear
How are
me?
you? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. So
Awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor to introduce yourself and let
Mhm.
people know where we can find you and what you're about.
Okay. Well, my name is Daniel. My channel is True Table across all platforms. I am a YouTuber heavy in this particular space. Not as accomplished maybe as Mr. Gary D. What an introduction, sir.
Yeah, we trying to get where he's already at.
Was- but yeah, definitely have had these kind of conversations for years. And I just recently started taking it to YouTube to kind of just spread the word and raise awareness. People do need to have these discussions, because a lot of times they're people are afraid to have these discussions. So I have a lot of perspective, a lot of experience, world traveled. I am a veteran. Also, am a part of a relationship group out here in California, in Rooted Love, which focuses on marriage, principle building, and how to go ahead and establish great relationship dynamics. So, yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, let me tell you something. I just met Mr. True Table. I saw one of his videos. I was impressed with what he had to say with the exact topic that I'm talking about. And instead of clipping his video, I decided to reach out to him. The only way I'm going to get deep in this game is by reaching out to my colleagues who's been there, who's doing it. And that's how you learn and you grow through other people. My thought process is not crabs in a pot. My thought process is creating a buffet so everybody can eat. And that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm still a rookie in this. So if you find me in a little bit of technical difficulties, just hang in there with me, because like the old, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, I'm building this plane while we flying it. So go ahead and strap on. So I'm gonna start with one clip. And I picked this clip because it was important to hear it from a beautiful Black queen. Because a lot of times when I talk about these topics, gentlemen, I get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of pushback because it's automatically assumed that I'm not Black. It's automatically assumed that I'm not supposed to be talking about these topics because they don't affect me or I don't know anything about it. And you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks because you don't know where I come from. You can't make judgment of because of my fair skin and my hair. You just don't know where I'm coming from. And at the end of the day, I have a Black son. So this most definitely affects me directly and I have a lot invested. So these are topics that are important to me. So I'm going to go ahead and let me set this up, gentlemen, and then once I play the video, I want us to talk about it. And just so you guys know, who's ever on live right now, I don't just come up here and talk my ish. I come with statistics. I come with vital information. I do my research. I go around YouTubing, finding people that's willing to come on and talk with me and get what they have to say on this topic. So give me just a moment. I have to go ahead and press share and do this and this. And then we're going to do that. Okay. And then we're going to go back to this. Give me just a moment, gentlemen. The video has to load real quickly. Come on, baby. I practiced today on this. It's coming. It's coming. This was an important video. Come on, baby.
Listen, I will forever be against baby mama culture as a young Black American woman because that disease is something that affects my
Can you
community
hear
the
it?
most. And for those of you who
Yeah.
like to come into my comments and marriage does not matter, I swear to God, I really want to run into a brick wall super fast and just pass out. Y'all make me sick. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Here and tell me that marriage doesn't have an effect when 75% of Black children are raised in single parent households. Oh, I'm sorry, fatherless homes. Let's just call it what it is. And 1 out of 4 Black women are only to get married. That is a big problem. What affects you the most, more than economic class, more than education, is whether or not there is a father present in the household. I don't know why that is so hard for y'all to comprehend, but it's, and as a woman with no children, the best that I can give my kids is a father who actually wanted them, as a father who was legally admitted in the household, present, raising our children together under one roof. There is nothing cute about giving a man a child who didn't think that you were good enough to give a ring to. And for those of you who still like to believe that marriage is just a piece of paper, marriage doesn't matter, I'm going to end that conversation today. Do you all remember the movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman? And his wife Helen, and when he got shot, the mistress wanted to cut off Charles' life support, but Helen wanted to save him, and she could do that because she was legally his wife. Occur, but the body, but the wife. It's that call. Not the baby mama, not the longtime girlfriend, not the mistress, his wife. The person that he sat down to, the person that he went to the altar in front of God and the community and vowed his life to, the person who was only allowed to handle his affairs. Period. The wife is the only one who gets acknowledged. If you want to be on this man's obituary known as his special friend, that's your business. You want to be the only one in the household who has the same last name, but you're the outsider, that's your business. But I am here. Every cause next as Black American women. Make these men, our community relies on it. Listen, I will forever be against baby as a young Black American woman because that disease is something that affects my community. Believe that marriage does not matter. Swear to God.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, so what did you think about that video? And this is a female. Let's not even put race into it. This is a female saying this. That's why it was so important for me to put this video out, because I'm going to get a lot of backlash from the women, but this was a woman saying exactly what I'm trying to put out there. What are your thoughts on that, Gary?
I think that she's definitely, she's definitely right. But we're in a time where a lot of young Black women, or I should say young minority women, their mindset is not where it needs to be. Somewhere along the line, they believe that being a baby mama was the cool thing to do. Now, I think that what has happened though is that some of these young Black women are products of their household, because some of them, they come from toxic households. Now, I'm not saying that that's the reason for them acting the way that they do, because there's some that overcome a toxic household or an unhealthy household. Everybody doesn't have the same mental capacity, right? Mm-hmm. But I think when we get to a point where we have these kind of situations that affecting our community as a whole, then it's a collective problem. But in this day and age now, what we've come into in this whole new world of new media and the way certain media platforms are, the voices that need to be heard really aren't heard. We get other mainstream media that wants to amplify voices more. They want to amplify more of the negative than the positive. Absolutely. Some would even say that there's a conspiracy to break up the Black family, right?
Absolutely. So, that was all the way in the 60s, Mr. D.
Right,
from Jim Crow.
Right. So, and there's been many discussions about that. So if we get into the conspiracy to break up the Black family, is it true? And if it is true, then look where we're at now. Look what is happening with all the baby mom. And we're at a time now where you have a lot of these young women, they have no problem being a baby mama. Like, it's perfectly okay to them. They see nothing wrong with it. Oh, I could be the baby mama and he could stay with his wife. Like, That's literally a lot of the attitudes. So this young woman, when she's speaking a lot of truth, she's speaking a lot of facts, but her message is not amplified because the opposite message is the one that we see all over the place with all these other women having these negative talking about it's being okay or cool to be a baby mama. Because the first thing is, oh well, they're gonna get, he's gonna pay me child support. So basically it's a money play. So love is not even in the equation.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
The baby doesn't even really matter. It's child support. So I could, and they'll use the child support or the child support argument, right? To get the money. And when they get the money, what they want to go buy? They want to go and buy all the high-end fashion stuff. Don't really want to take care of the baby, but then want to turn around and say that the baby daddy's absent or the baby daddy doesn't pay. So this woman here, she's absolutely right in a lot of what she said. And I think her message needs to be heard a lot more. I think that as a collective, in terms of the community, there's something that really needs to be done to reset these young women's mindset about a healthy family, raising a healthy family, right? Because the other side, you don't see them going through this shit. Right?
No.
You don't see them going through this shit. You really don't see.
They do, but in social media, it's not shown in a negative aspect.
This is what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have their issues, but those issues are taken care of behind closed doors. Right? They don't really amplify the negative stuff on social media or even major media in general. Like it's always a young black woman or a young black man that's always pushed in the forefront with these negative attitudes and feelings and just the negative way of a broken family. Is that a conspiracy or not?
Exactly. Thank you for the feedback on that. Okay, so Mr. True, what do you have to say about that video and what she said? And Mr. D, just to piggyback on what you said real quick, her message is being overshadowed by what you said, what we see in the media by these young girls. So she has to really put that message out there stronger. But Mr. True, what do you have to say about that video?
I think the young lady's absolutely right. I think that it's a multifaceted issue. The culture shifted. A lot of times when you even talk to young ladies, just like Gary was saying, they are focused on the wrong things. They're not focused on the relationship. They're not even focused on the man, to be honest with you.
That's right. Facts. Yep.
I have conversations with women on a regular basis about this particular issue. And once they get to a point to where they've had failed relationship after failed relationship, which is so many different aspects of lack of parenting, lack of community, lack of leadership in our community, they have these relationships that are, and I would say, they're not mature enough to be able to handle the ramifications of when they fail. And they're also not seeing a structure that exists with man, woman, and man in a healthy dynamics. So what happens is that they're doing a combination of what I believe is a money grab as well as a baby grab, because women are not stupid. They understand at some point it's going to start becoming challenging. So would I rather grow old by myself or at least get something that I can bring back with me, whether that be a child, and still have some level of, masculine exchange interaction with this man, whether we're in love or not? He has to deal with me if I have his child, regardless of the fact. They complain about marriage, and I think that that's just a lack of the parenting, because nobody's telling them that marriage is not cute necessarily. Marriage is work. And for some odd reason, they will opt out of the marriage work, but will definitely sign up for the baby mama work. I guess because there's a compensation plan to it, it's a big issue. So
Absolutely. And the thing is, gentlemen, unfortunately, it's going to be really up to you guys, which it shouldn't be, because it shouldn't. Remember, they're going to give us pushback. They're going to say, well, he got me pregnant. It takes two to get me pregnant. But at the end of the day, what I try to emphasize is, as a woman, the most precious thing is my womb. And as a man, the precious thing that he could give a woman is his seed and his last name. So we got a lot of young, I'm not just going to get on the ladies too. I'm going to get on the men too, because this is, it takes two. But I'm really trying to emphasize women, because at the end of the day, it's the women that have the final say if they can have a child. We have 30 forms of contraceptives that we can use to prevent from getting pregnant. You guys only have 3 or 4. So there's a lot of things that we can do as a woman to prevent this. I'm not preaching, and maybe I should, but I'm not there yet. Abstinence and stop having sex. We all know that's not going to happen. Have your sex, have your fun, but don't bring a child into the world. That's all I'm trying to say. If you're not ready, and just like viewers, Matthew Rosado, I have his comment there. It says, no, what it is that all day they see is a bag, and they think that they can live off their baby daddy.
Well, that's what it is. And
but look how crazy. Go ahead.
But that's what it has become, grabbing the bag. I mean, how many, I couldn't tell you how many women I've either known directly or indirectly, or even conversations I've heard where, oh, he got a nice job, you need to get pregnant by him. Right?
Oh, he's military.
Like, that's where
you're going to get his pension.
Right? So, like, there's no relationship, it's, oh, he got a nice job, or he got a nice car, or so, like, I want to have his baby, right? And, you want to get to know somebody first, fall in love, all the stuff that needs to happen before that. That's not even what's going on. Now, I mean, what it is now a lot of these young women, once they see a guy has some type of affluence, oh, like they ready to go to sleep with him. So they want to, they're going after the bag.
To all my military men, watch yourselves. Watch your pension. Protect. I'm telling you, protect your seed and your last name and your pension, because we know that's what they're after. But a lot of men still succumb. And I get it. I get it.
Well, I think we need.
So, go ahead.
I think we need to change the verbiage too. Honestly, I don't see premarital recreational sex as fun if you're not an adult, in my opinion. And I think we really got to be careful, because people will say that, like, you should protect yourself, both males and females. But sex is not a game. It's just not. Having sex should be something that is truly understood on how serious it is, whether we're talking about having babies, whether we're talking about, venereal diseases, or we're talking about emotional trauma. It's not a game.
Soul ties,
all
energy, all of that.
Yeah.
Because it's just, but sex right now is so media. It's such in the media, and it's used to sexualize our young women and traumatize our young men, that it's nothing to them. It's all about the smash and dash generation, hit and run, Netflix and chill. It's not about courting anymore. It's not about dating and, like Mr. D said, getting to know each other and, like, true, like you said, taking it seriously. Sex nowadays is like going out and just going to Dunkin' Donuts and picking up a cup of coffee. It's just that easy.
But you said something very important in terms of energy. Like, Now, obviously, when we were younger, in our 20s, 30s, we didn't
We're not
realize
thinking
this,
about, yeah.
right? But as we got older in our 40s, 50s, we understand energy, sexual energy is important, right? There's a reason why if you slept with this person and after you sleep with this person, you just feel completely drained, right? Like, you know, um, so there's, I would say this, there's that feeling where after you having sex with someone that you're in love with and you feel drained, but you feel good. But then there's the,
It's a good
right?
dream.
The good drain, right? Right? Then you have the sex where you just feel completely drained and like bad, right? Just bad about yourself.
Guilty, ashamed. You go home,
Right. You
like,
feel
what
bad.
just happened?
And I think we've all at one point been like, why did I sleep with her? Or why did I sleep with it? Like, why did I do that? So, but obviously it comes with, we learn from experience, right? So,
Absolutely.
now there's some people that never learn.
But that's
This
what
is
I'm.
where we come. This is where we come in. I know you and me, Mr. D, are in the same age group. Trude, you're a little bit younger than us. It's up to us old heads to teach these young heads, because the people that were supposed to teach them and guide them and mentor them didn't do it. So it's up to us. It really is, because my biggest thing is protecting my son from going through this. Because, guys, I don't want to catch a charge. I want to live peaceful. I want to live a peaceful latter part of my life. But and all I can do is teach him and talk to him and do what I do, hope for the best. So with that being said, here's the statistics that I have. 54% of Black men are single and childless. 54%. Does that surprise? When I talk to women about that, they're surprised of that statistics. And I actually tested it out because I did a survey, and only 30% of Black men are married, but only 1 in 4 Black women get married, and 30% of children are being made with 20% of the same men. I mean, make that make sense to me. So the perfect example, look at Future and Nick Cannon. Yes, they have the financial means to have kids, but I feel that they're being very irresponsible and reckless with their seed. Yeah, you're out here making babies, but you're not really, you got the money to support them. Great job. But it takes more than just money to raise a kid. You have to be there for them emotionally, physically, spiritually. How the hell do you think Nick Cannon can take care of 12 kids adequately?
But see here, I think so. Me coming from the entertainment industry, and I've been in it almost all of my life. I mean, I could tell you that there's well, first is the celebrity status, right? So you're the male celebrity, so now you have all these women that will literally jump in your pants and do whatever you want.
It's all about the bag.
Right. So there is, and a lot of those women, they know that, okay, this guy he's financially set, so they have no problem sleeping with him and getting pregnant. The other end is that some of these guys, Future, DMX, Nick Cannon, and quite a few others, they just want to spread this. They just keep going, right? They keep going and going, right? And mind you, I'm a big DMX fan, but when it comes to, I think with him and some of these others, it's, they get so caught up, because I think that there's a certain level of responsibility that you're supposed to have. And some of them, they don't really take that responsibility, right? I think in Nick Cannon's case, well, in Nick Cannon's case and in Future's case, they've come into a lot of money so they can support their kids, but we don't get a lot of them. And just as you said, it's more than money to raise a child. You want to be able to go to your child's basketball game, football game, wrestling game, parent teachers conference, right? Like those things really matter. Like you know, have you ever seen a child's face when they have their baseball game or football game and their mom or dad doesn't show up, but everybody else's mom or dad shows up? Right?
Yep.
You know that
I lived it. I lived
so
it,
you
Mr. D,
understand,
because
right?
I coach basketball. I
So
coach
you
basketball.
right.
And I see parents that never come to the kids' games. And I even have the responsibility of picking them up, taking them to pride. They leave everything up to me because they're just too busy. You can never be too busy.
Yeah,
And
no,
we
you
get caught
can't.
up in our jobs, in our lives, and we forget that we have a whole human being that we got to raise and be there for. It's not a dog where you can just put in a cage and bring it out when you want to. It's a whole human. So I got to, Matthew said, I'm going through what Mr. Table just said. So Matthew, if you want to indulge a little bit, or if you want to click the link and come on up here, you're welcome to. You don't have to be on camera. You can just not be on camera. And then I have my girl, Lonnie. Thank you for coming. She said, we are living in a different world now. This is no longer the 40s, 50s, and even 60s and 70s. There is a gap in morale ethics. And I agree with you, but that's where we come in. That's especially us old heads. This is where we come in and try to bring some sense into all of this. Try to show. And this is why we do what we do. Gary, True, me, Mr. Let Go, JVJ, and everybody out there YouTubing, we're trying to fix it. But it's a big bite. We're chewing on a lot right now. And there's nothing that I can do for the women that already have 3-4 kids from 2 different men. I'm trying to catch those young ones in their 20s.
Right, absolutely.
Well, I have a little pushback on what Miss Rivera said, only because this is a huge misconception. So it ties in perfect. So I'm glad she made the comment. There is an illusion that the ethics and the morals have shifted. I disagree. I think that our community is usually the test tube of social engineering first, meaning we'll see what is the disparities in society first, because we're such a disenfranchised group. But you can go today to any nail shop or to any ethnic, business that is owned by minorities, Middle Easterns, Asians. And if you're by yourself as a woman, they're going to ask where your husband is. If you're by yourself as a male, they're going to ask where your wife is. They still have an institution to where they follow the regiment of structured families in 2022. So I can't sign up for saying that there's this moral shift. That's nonsense. What it is that our community is disenfranchised. We try to rewrite and color outside the lines. We try to say things like marriage don't work, and that's BS. Because still today, there is virgins. You'll hear conversations between a group of young Black women or young Black men sometimes even that'll say, oh, there's no virgins by the time they're 22, 23. And that's not true. There's a lot of Asians, Middle Easterns, some people in Europe who still practice abstinence or waiting till marriage. So I think that sometimes our groups are too concentrated in our own areas, too concentrated in our own media. They don't do enough of journeying outside of what is the consistency and what you look like. If I'm Black, then I have to do this. I have to hang out here. I have to only be with these people. And you should expand upon that. And you'll learn a lot more that what you assume is life is not really everybody's life. Because everybody is not having premarital sex where they're having a team of women or having a team of men. That's not everybody's life. So I just wanted to say that.
Let me just pick a bit off of what you said, because you said something very important. Social engineering. Now, that goes over a lot of people's heads. There's an institution in London called the Tavistock Institute. Whenever you get a chance, go research them. The Tavistock Institute basically have contracts with all the Fortune 500 companies and all that, like everything from what cell phone we buy, to what car we buy, to what we see on TV, to where we travel, to what we read. The Tavistock Institute deals with all these, so their job is specifically social engineering. And when you research and see the stuff that they do and have done, then all of this other stuff is going to kind of start to make sense. So when you mention the social engineering, oh man, you hit the nail right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head. And that's been going on for decades. And you know, and because a lot of us are working paycheck to paycheck, we don't have time to really research and find out and understand these things. So more times than not, it's either way over our head, or if we come across someone that talks about it, they either tune out because they're not really interested. And the powers that be, they know. But now when you come across someone that knows about this, because I could tell you, when I've gone into other circles and talk about the Tavistock Institute, they look at me like, how do you know that?
Exactly, because you took the time to research it. Now, before I introduce Matthew, I want to say one thing. There's also a very, very, very vital thing that we've taken out of our everyday lives. And God has been taken out of our everyday lives. They took God out of school. They took God. You can't even pray before a game anymore. It's like, but you're leaving God we trust on money. You see where the emphasis is? We'll put in God we trust money, but we won't put in God we trust at an abortion clinic. And God, why did we take home economics classes out of high school? Why did we take shop out of high schools? Things that teach us basic skills to survive. So with that being said, okay, Matthew, thank you for joining the show. Give us your experience. What exactly are you going through? Tell us, because you put it up there, and I'm interested to know.
My ex-wife is doing exactly what Mr. Table said about just sitting there trying to use emotional, oh, I'm not going to do this because he hasn't done this for me. But you want to sit there and keep me away from my son because I decided to leave you after you physically abused me. Majority of generation nowadays, all they do is abuse each other. If it's not one thing, it's the other. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok all show the same thing. All these little joke videos of, oh, let me slap my spouse and make it look like we're fighting. It's not a joke. That's some serious stuff that goes on. I left my wife because of that, and now I'm suffering the consequence of her using him as a pawn to stay with me. It took me a year plus just to get my divorce from her because she was being vindictive, spiteful, falsifying documents for child support, everything. Like I have 3 kids with her. Really.
And at the end of the day, Matthew, you tried to do everything right. You married your baby's mother. You stayed with her. You tried to. I know Matthew personally, so I know what he's gone through. I just wanted his story to be out there. You did the right thing, and even when you do the right thing, it's not guaranteed. There's nothing in life guaranteed besides death, taxes, and child support. Okay. But Matt, at least you can walk away as a man and look at your children's eyes when they get old enough to understand that you tried to do the right thing. And you're still fighting, because you're still fighting to get that baby. And don't stop fighting, because that baby needs to see that daddy loves me and daddy really wanted to be with me, because all the poison that baby's being fed on that side, trust me, he will get old enough to realize where the foolery is coming from. They'll realize it.
Believe me, I know that. That's exactly what they're doing. Like right now, my junior, whenever he's like, when are you gonna come and get me? When are you gonna come and get me? But that's put up in the air because with her doing everything she's done, slandering my name, using my past history against me and everything, the state of Florida is literally garbage. It's a woman rights state.
Not father friendly.
Exactly. Like no matter what I told them, I got out of prison. I got a whole 9 to 5 job. I moved whole states. I moved to Seattle, then Washington, and then Idaho, and I'm still going through battles with the state of Florida for my son. Like, I'm stable. I have a whole
And
house. I get from so much, like, just poverty to where I am now. It's ridiculous that the state of Florida can't understand or see a change in a person. They just want to open up. You have a history of this, that, and the third. We're just going to give the child to their mother.
And that's it. There's a lot of times where the mother's not even fit to be a mother. And again, unfortunately, it's going to be for you men to speak up more. Matt, you need to tell your story. You need to kick up dust to these courts. Who we put in your, yeah, go ahead, Mr. D.
So there's two situations that I know of personally. So my business partner years ago, he was the president. You know, he owned a venture capital company. Life good. He's living well here in New York City. Don't you know that the New York courts gave him shit to try to get his kids back? Like the only way now, mind you, he could give his kids whatever they wanted, pay for everything, all of that, many times over. The courts gave him The courts gave him shit to get his kids. The only way he was able to get his kids was the mother came to the office one day with both of the kids. She was like, "I'm tired. I'm not dealing with them anymore," and left them. That's how he got his kids.
Wow.
That's about to where I at right now. Where I'm at right
that's
now.
How he got his like.
You gotta fight until they're tired.
Like that's how he got his kids.
You want to know another thing? You want to know another thing? The federal government makes money off of child support. So it would behoove them. It would behoove them to give the child to the mother to get child support from the man, because the federal government, I always say, follow the money trail. Even the federal government is after the bag.
Yeah,
I would say
like,
that
come on.
from a child support work officer. I was told that directly from a child support officer. It does not matter if the child isn't yours. If you legally marry them, you're responsible for that child. Even if you get a DNA test and that comes back that you're not the father, you still legally have to own up to that child for 18 years.
Yep.
And they literally, oh well,
and if
we're just gonna
watching,
give them. Go ahead, Grace.
Anybody watching, I did a show on child support. If you go back to my awesome show on child support, I don't want to get involved in that because that's a whole nother thing about it. But let me move on to I'm gonna do 2 clips from the same podcaster. It's a little bit raunchy, but you know what? It needs to be so. Excuse the language and whatever, but that's who he is. And you know what? It is what it is. So give me just a second. Let me go ahead and set this up, gentlemen. Again, like share screen. Okay, right here. Anybody on Facebook watching, please go to the YouTube channel, and that's where you'll get a better look at what's going on. Give me just a second. It's loading. I thought it'd be loaded by now, but it's okay. We're building as we're flying, guys. Hold on. Put your seatbelt on. Come on.
What's up, y'all? I'm being completely honest with y'all, man. It's really troubling to see how many women are really in the mindset of saying that they don't out into this world and try to raise them by themselves. Because we've seen this story time and time again. Girl say she can do it by herself, whatever the fuck. Okay, now she's about to be a detriment to the fucking society because she's going to be taking money away from all these social programs that are for people that actually need help, not for people that willfully chose to fucking put themselves in a position. But then all
Give me Okay, we'll go to the. But you guys can kind of tell what he's trying to say. It is a detriment. Hold on, where am I? Give me. It is a detriment to our society. Kids need to they deserve to grow up with a mother and a father. And Miss Rivera came back and said, we are not unified enough as those other ethnic groups, as you would say. So there is a gap. There's got to be the bridge somewhere. And that's where we come in, Lonnie. Mr. D is the bridge. Mr. Truth is the bridge. Matthew's story, if he gets it out there, is the bridge. Me out here on YouTube is the bridge. We got to build a lot of bridges to get to where we need to. And people rather pay a heavy toll than just cross that bridge easily. I mean, what is wrong with the concept of marry before you carry? What is the concept? Have a marriage before the baby carriage. You see, guys, I was a poet and didn't even know it. No. Let me see if I can get another video. I know I was corny. That was corny, but that's me. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Give me just a second. I'm gonna do another video. I gotta get this out there. Okay. Just a second. I mean, I had these videos ready and loaded to go, but I guess with the internet. Come on. Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it. Nope.
Can you hear it?
Nope.
Hold on. Did you guys hear that?
Nope.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
Yeah, we
I can hear you. I can hear
Can
you.
you hear? Can you hear? Did you guys hear the
Yep.
video? Did you hear the
Nope.
video?
No.
You didn't hear the video. Okay, I'm not giving up, guys. Just be patient with me. Hold on a second, because this is good stuff. Hold on. I'm not giving up on it. Hold on. This. Just a second. Come on. Let's load. Let's load. Let's load. All right, I'm just gonna go to the next video then. Okay, so I'm just gonna cancel it for a second. Oh, we got somebody else. So we read Lonnie's, and then we got Miss Parker in here showing the blue hearts. Everybody knows that's my trademark, is the blue hearts. But let me just go ahead and start with the with the information, guys. This is coming from the Population Reference Bureau. In the US, there's nearly 24 million children living in single parent households. 24 million. 24 of the 15 million are single mother households, and 4 million are fathers. But out of that 24 million, guys, this is what's mind-boggling. 64% of that is African American. 64% of African American households are being raised by a single parent household. And kids from single parent families are more likely to face emotional and behavioral health challenges like aggression, engaging in high risk behaviors when compared to peers raised by married parents. And also poverty. You're going to see a lot of wouldn't it make sense if you're already in poverty to maybe just have 2 children where they can get more, where having 5 children and have to spread yourself thin? And these single parents struggle just to cover family basic needs like food, utilities, housing, childcare, clothing, and navigating these decisions alone with limited resources can and does send stress levels up. That's why you see these single moms stressed out, turning up, having a girl summer. Nearly 30% of single parent households live in poverty, and single mothers are more likely to be poor when compared to single parents. Children in poverty, one more likely to have physical, mental, and behavioral health problems disrupted by brain development, shorter educational trajectories, contact with child welfare and justice system, and employment challenges in adulthood. Look at what all of this can happen just by being a baby mama. Without a partner to share, the load is heavy. It's hard. Most common problems are money and time, and who gets the shitty end of the stick at the end of the day? The child. And it's not fair. It's not fair to bring in a child because you're trying to chase a bag, you're trying to keep a man. A baby does not keep a man, ladies. Nope. It does not keep a man, especially if he's voiced, I don't want any children. I'm not ready for kids. Have that conversation before you decide somebody to shoot up the club. Have that conversation, because if it does happen, it wouldn't be such a surprise. You wouldn't feel so abandoned. I mean, we each and women, we got to take responsibility, but I'm sorry. I'm an advocate for men. This is what my channel is all about. I'm the one turning the mirror on women and making them be accountable for their bad behavior. Their reckless behavior has been going on for too long, and men are just tired. They don't even say anything anymore because they don't want to deal with the conflict, the confrontation. They want peace, and you're not going to get that. So if I'm turning the mirror on the women, we have to stop. This is crazy. I have a good friend, and we became friends because I was so in awe with her situation. She has 9 kids, but you know what I saw? But this, you know what I saw? It was a whole bunch of kids, and it was loud, but they were great. I saw a dad there. I saw the husband there, giving structure, giving order. And they planned the 9 kids. She comes from a big family of, I think, 11 kids. So it's nothing new to her, but I admire her and I have the utmost respect for them because they're married and they have a family. A family 11. Can you imagine that in this day and age? And it's 8 boys and 1 girl. And the girl is born. And then you see when they take pictures, it's a beautiful thing. We don't see that nowadays. And we especially don't see nowadays in our African or Hispanic communities. So this is why I gravitated to them, and we've been friends ever since. And she's been my girl ever since. And that's who it is, Miss Parker. She has the most beautiful family, and I really, really look up to her as a woman because I'm struggling with one. How do you manage with 9? Right? How do you manage with 9? And then
Well,
there go my
I
girl.
was,
She's always on top of stuff. We could hear you, but we didn't hear the video. Yeah, okay. So far, you guys have anything to add? Because I'm gonna try to work on this sharing the video while you guys go ahead and take over a little bit
um,
because I don't want to miss out on these videos. Okay, so give me just a minute, Gary and Truth and Matthew, if you're still there, talk among yourselves. But I gotta get these videos in. Okay, guys.
well, yeah, well, I wanted to just add, go ahead,
Okay.
but I wanted to add that I think that there needs to be constant promotion. People like Miss Parker, not that she has to necessarily get on YouTube, but her story doesn't need to be shared. There is a tremendous amount of unrecognized support that comes from just having a man in the equation. And it's just never talked about enough. The only thing you ever hear that is highlighted is that there's money involved. But people don't understand that having a man just in the situation creates support for that woman to continue to love on those kids. You can see it even when you have men who are involved in doing something as simple as picking their kids up from school. Kids respond differently to men than they do to women. There's just a masculinity that comes from it. There's a structure that comes from it. And to become a man requires a development. Through that development, it is shared to that woman. So 9 kids, as it may be a heavy load, it's heavier individually, but it's spread because that man is going to continue to support her. She's going to have the confidence to be the mother that she was destined to be. And it's just never highlighted enough. And when you do have men who take up the charge to be in the relationship and be active in that equation, it's always diminished by, career or money. Whereas there's just a natural order from his presence that brings structure and balance. So that's what I wanted to add to that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Let
it
me
does.
see. I think I got it now, guys. Hold on. I think I got it. Okay, so hold on. Can you hear the video?
No.
It's still
This is
loading. I don't know
very
why I'm having
selfish, and it
such a
needs to be
hard
checked and
time.
called the fuck out. So do that.
What about now? Did you hear? Are you okay? Hold on. I'm gonna play it again. Give me just a second. I don't know what is going on with this internet. I'm in Georgia. I'm in the woods, guys. So okay, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop playing with it right now. I'm losing focus. So let me that say.
Well, to speak on what the video
So
was talking
she
about
says
with
so. Let me remove that. Okay, now nothing wants to stop. Now it keeps playing. Okay, that's out. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna try one more time later. But then here we got some participation from the audience. So we got the society we are currently living in the powers that have been destroyed the family structure. Let's throw them in jail. That's creating a ripple effect, generational curse, and that's what we're seeing. Yeah. Not only do we not want family structure, but we're gonna lock them up. It's crazy. And then Miss Parker, I'm sorry, I call her Nunu. I had to put your story out there because it's important. And she said we actually quit the YouTube channel for some time, but we will be back. I mean, yeah, we can have a positive outlook on what family structure is, Nunu, and you can give them that visual instead of the bull crap that we see on reality shows and expectation. family. You know what? Shows that show family unity. You saw dad and the mother. The issue is, if grandma was a single mom and she never had a man in the house, how was her daughter supposed to learn? What role model did she have? Then how did the granddaughter learn from her mom? It's nobody knows how to love a man, let alone a black man, because they never saw a black man in their household. It's like it's an oxymoron. Go ahead, Matthew.
See, what you just said is a
Matthew,
very
did you
big
want to
thing.
say something?
Yeah. So what I said was, you have men that sit there and tell their daughters, "Oh, this is how a man is supposed to treat you," but yet you never find any woman that sits there and says, "This is how you're supposed to treat a man to keep your man happy." And I'm not talking about giving him everything he wants. Just, "Hey, how's your day? Oh, it's stressing out. Well, don't worry, I'm here for you. If you want to talk about it, I'm here." Nobody does that anymore. None of this generation does that at all.
No,
It's,
we
if
don't
you're in a
bring
bad
peace
mood,
to men.
nope. It's sometimes all a man needs is, "Hey, babe, how are you doing? Are you okay today?" Half the time, men don't share their feelings. We bottle them up and we walk around just thinking about how we can fix things. And women take that as, no, not all women, some women take that as, "Oh, they're mad at me for something, so I'm going to get mad at them," causing a bridge in that communication to keep that family orientated and together.
Absolutely. We're not taught how to. Have you realized, gentlemen, that we are socially awkward right now? People don't
Very
know
much
how to
so.
articulate conversations. They don't know how to
Well,
articulate conversations, how to carry conversations, because we're all in our phones.
here's the interesting thing, and I'll tell you a
Gotta say,
couple of
Mr.
experiences. Here's the interesting thing, and here's a couple of experiences that I've had, which is sort of similar, where I've had women tell me, I hear uh, they want a guy that's able to communicate and things of that, and I'm a communicator. Like I'm a stickler for communication. I want to make sure that what I'm saying, are you understanding it in the way that I'm saying, or are you interpreting it differently? Right. So with some of the women that I've dealt with, they talk all this want communication, but then when you put it to them, they fold.
Yep. They get angry that you're being honest with them and letting them know how you feel. Turn it around on you.
Exactly. I'm that guy. Like, if
you're absolutely right.
If there's something wrong, tell me. Right? Tell me what's wrong. Right?
So we can.
You're not going to say, "Well, oh, I tried to." I'm saying, tell me what's wrong. Like when they talk about wanting communication, but when when they get a guy that actually communicates, that wants to know your feelings, hey, look, I know you can't talk right now, so I'll sit with you when you're ready to talk. Then you tell me how you feel. I'm not expecting you to come straight out. They still can't do it.
No matter how long you've been with them, they just want to hold it up
exactly.
and hold it on.
You say
but
that.
Yet, right. But yet they want a man that communicates, and they don't even know how to communicate themselves. So, and when they get a real guy that really is about it, they fold.
Well,
yep.
I have to say that that's the men's fault. I have to say that there's a reason behind that, because I kind of have the same interaction that you have. And a lot of times what I've found is that most dudes don't communicate with the women past her level of contention. See, most dudes will communicate until that woman starts to have a little bit of an attitude, and then they'll regress off their real point or their standard because they want to continue to get the butt. So they stop speaking their truth. They're not willing to still stay honest on a square and speak from a place of accountability, even if she no longer wants to entertain getting to know you. And most dudes, not like you or like me, see, I don't care. I'm going to say what I say. Because my whole agenda is that if we're going to get to know each other, you're going to get to know me for real. And if we grow to a point to where we just no longer can share in progressing to get to know each other, that's fine. However, what I have witnessed this, guys will have a frame of mind but won't speak from an honest place because he knows that if he really tells her how he feels, she's not gonna mess with him. And a lot of dudes do this overwhelmingly. So when they interact with a real one, like you're saying, it's foreign to them. Yeah, that's why, because guys are so, I mean, I hear the dudes will tell me, man, I can't tell her that because this is what's going to happen. And I'm like, well, why can't you tell her that? Because one thing I've realized about women, different to girls, you speak from an honest place. She may get bothered. She may get upset for a second, but then she's going to inquire if she's really trying to develop and grow. She's a little girl. Absolutely. She's going to get mad, pissy.
And that's the sign. And that's the sign that you men have to look for. She's willing to transition and to listen and learn, then that's a keeper. But if she keeps giving you pushback and being argumentative and combative with everything, she's not on your program and it's not worth it. And my thing that I say to a lot of men is start taking your seat back at the head of the table, as you should, and stop considering our feelings so much. Oh, I don't want to hurt
but society has ruined that. Society has ruined that for men by all these women artists and famous people wanting to, oh, I'm independent, I don't need to listen to you. If you don't like my way of doing it, you can leave or anything like that. Women don't. It's not like back in the day where women actually hold the man of the household to that standard where they're supposed to be. Now they hold the man down here. Oh, well, he doesn't have that good of a job. He doesn't have that good of a job. He can't provide for us physically, mentally, or emotionally. So why am I going to sit there and listen to what he says? If he tells me, oh, what's for dinner? Why am I going to waste my time, get up and cook?
But
that's only. Go ahead, Truth. Go ahead.
And you're right. You're right, Matthew. But again, I try to be fair across the board and hold all parties accountable. That still speaks to the men. Because the one thing I can never say I've experienced is the ability for a woman to enter into my atmosphere and her to challenge my masculinity from what I know. Like, if you are a controlled individual, if you're a mature man, if you are about your business, there's very little that woman can do or say to you that should move you off of your position. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if she makes more, less. That's irrelevant. I'm a man always, sweetie. I always am going to be. But a lot of men, I don't believe, offer enough of their own development in order to really give to that woman. A lot of men it's looks, it's swag, it's all this nonsense. At the end of the day, you have to always be in a state of mind that as a man, my job is to always be sharp. My job is to always be functioning and to be always operating at my optimal level. Very few women can step to you and challenge you if you're on your crap. But when you're not, and you make excuses, and you're not handling your business as a man, that's when you deal with those type of episodes.
You see, the only women that I've had that problem with.
That being said, but
go ahead, Grace.
Is who? Okay, but see, this is we gotta peel the onion now. The reason men are not on their shit, Truth, is because they're being raised by women. How can I've done everything that I could for my 16-year-old. Now it's time for him to be surrounded, and I know this because I grew up with a father and I saw how my father did my brother. He needs to be around testosterone. I could teach him how to be a good man, but it takes a man to teach him how to be a man. But if you're being raised by a single mother, it kills me when I hear women say these men ain't shit. I said, but who raising these men? Y'all are raising them. Exactly. We're failing. And then that goes back to Matthews. Oh, I don't need no man. I'm independent. So break it down to them. Oh, really? You don't need a man? So when your car breaks down, where do you go? To a mechanic.
Yep.
95% of the time, a mechanic is a man. You run out of gas. I make them think you run out of gas in the middle of the street. Who's going to help you push that car to the gas station? Okay? I'm going to go even further with you guys. I told one lady at my job, I said, you see that car you're about to hop into and go home? Who you think built that car? that home that you lay your head in, the infrastructure that we live in this world to be as comfortable as we are because we're tricked into thinking we don't need a man. I don't see no women all the way up in there in the bucket, FPL, fixing them light poles, fixing the roads, fixing the airports for what? For us to be comfortable and live a lovely life, but we don't need no man. I told my manager at work, I said, why is it that when it's Mother's Day, the store looks like it threw up flowers and hearts and stuff? Why can't we take that same why can't we take that same energy and do it for Father's Day? Yes, y'all men may pretend like it doesn't matter and you don't care. But I know deep down y'all are sick of these ties and socks and underwear gifts. Y'all want some real shit. That's why most men don't care about a woman's money, because they won't spend their money on their man. But on their birthday, they expect a Birkin bag. They expect to go eat at Ruth Chris. But what are we doing for our men, especially the good men? We're not doing enough. We're not about, and that's another show I got coming up. Why we don't value men. How is a little girl supposed to value a man if she's never been around a man or known how to go love a man, let alone a black man? Seriously, because all they hear, a lot of them, I don't say all of them because I don't like generalization, because not all of us are like that. But how are you supposed to know how to love a man if you've never been around a man? Sometimes most women don't even interact with men until they go to college. High school, I don't consider high school because they're boys. They're still boys. But you really interact with a man when you go to college, and that's really their first serious relationship. And to pick, you said, true, they keep failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationship because they weren't taught to be in a relationship. They weren't taught to. I mean, it took me. I'm not in the guys. I'm not. I want to put this disclosure. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I am an expert in life. I've been through enough in relationships and around men because I grew up a daddy's girl. I like a lot of guy things, but I've had to learn too to tone it down. I'm very dominant. I can be very dominant. Just with my New York accent, I sound masculine. So I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to be more graceful versus so rah, rah, rah. I grew up all my life listening to my dad say, it's a reaction to an action. I wish he was still, I can teach him, Dad, origin is a reaction. You don't have to respond to everything. I've learned to just be quiet. I've learned to conversations just flow. We need to listen to understand and not listen to respond. And I'm telling you guys, I'm 58 years old, and that took a minute for me to learn. But because I had a father in my life, I value men. I respect men. I saw my dad get up every day and go to work for 30 years and take care of us and have a good life. We need to get back to that because that's what worked. Every time I see a couple that's been married for years, I always ask them, what's your secret? Because we need to know. We need to know we have too many options right now. You ever go down a cereal aisle? Do you remember when it was just 4 cereals? Frosted Flakes, Corn Flakes, Raisin Bran, and Cocoa Pebbles. Now you got
Rice
we have too
Krispies.
many. Oh yeah, okay, Rice Krispies. Well, we have too many options now. We don't work there. I don't see premarital counseling anymore. It should be a requirement. It should be a requirement to have premarital counseling. We don't talk about the big things. We talk about them when they're too late. We have to talk about, what would happen if I got pregnant? We going to do this? No, you want to talk about it afterwards when it's too late. So I'm just trying for us, because my motto is, if we know better, we do better. So now there is no excuse. If somebody's watching this show, if a young lady watching this show and she sees what can possibly happen and the effects of being a single mom, it's hard out here. It is. I became a single mother, and let me tell you guys, there is a difference. There's a difference between being a baby mama and a single mother. I was married and I did the right thing, marry my son's father. Unfortunately, after 11 years, it didn't work out, but my son woke up every day for 11 years knowing who his father was. He don't have to wonder all his life and ponder who his daddy is. He knows who his father is. Can I look at him in the eye and say, look, I tried. I did the right thing. I married your father. We got marriage. You were the now what I did not do right, and he called me on it. My son called me on it. I had him first, but I required marriage after I got pregnant, and I didn't have any more kids until we got pregnant. I mean, until we got married. Some women will have 3, 4, 5 kids and still not require marriage. What the hell is that about? And marriage is important. You know, a lot of people say it's just a piece of paper. Yeah, it's a piece of paper, but that piece of paper holds clout. A lot.
It does. It really does.
Go ahead, True. What do you got to say?
Oh no, I would
You
just
got something on your mind?
Oh yeah, no, I'm listening to you, because you said you know, peeling back the
Okay.
onions, and I was just thinking as you were talking that it's a lot. This is again,
it's a vicious cycle.
It is.
It's a lot.
But
I took my son on dates. Go ahead. I'm sorry, True. Go ahead.
No. Just there's a lot, but I know quite a few single mothers. I observe it even in public, and sometimes what I see is that, especially when they have sons, I don't think young ladies understand the psychology behind the masculine mindset. I'll watch, 20-some-year-old young woman with a maybe 8-year-old son, and she'll pump gas and he'll be sitting in the car playing on his phone. And those type of things, see, if you don't have a man in the structure, one, it's evident because that wouldn't happen if there was a man around. But two, there's a responsibility as women that if there's gonna be a demise in a relationship, well, then you really do, as a woman, first of all, need to get around men and start asking questions. How does this man thing work? You'll never be a man, but you can definitely get some tools and some information, and they'll tell you, if he's 8 years old, 9 years old, he should be getting the groceries out the car. He should be pumping the gas. He should have chores. Yeah, he should. If he gets to the age where he has maybe athletic abilities, just putting your son in sports creates a different structure in his mind because he's around men who are going to challenge his development. He may not be LeBron James. He may not be a Floyd Mayweather. That's irrelevant. What it does for the confidence, what it does for the structure is what is transitioned into life, because you start to have to be accountable. You have to have, you don't have I hear young men sometimes now, when I go to church and stuff, young men, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? I'm all right. You all right? What do you mean you all right? And hold, shake my hand like a boy, like you have something. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, they have a single mom, because there's this pampered parental practice. They cover and cater to them so much. Why is he walking around with Jordans and he can't run fast? Why? Out of just certain things can be easily
his
reversed.
grade not up to par.
Yeah. And everything. There should be the way that they go ahead. I'm sorry.
But you see, there's a lot of things that I'm teaching my son that I learned from my father teaching my brother. So I think you see where that advantage comes in? Like I would take my son on dates. We would go on dates and I would teach him, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is a restaurant 2 for $20 where you just take somebody that you're just meeting or getting to know. Then we went to 954 Steak in Fort Lauderdale where you drop in 300-400. I said, now this is a restaurant where you take your girlfriend, where you're celebrating an anniversary. You don't have to, it's like, and you're right. I don't touch trash. I don't pump gas. I don't open doors. When I'm with him, I wait for him to open the door. And then now he tries me when I go out on the date. So did the guy open the door for you? Did he do this? Did he even offer to get me to eat? Because he does wear a package deal. And so it's like he be testing. But again, to piggyback everything that y'all said, if how are you going to teach your son to be a head of household? How are you going to teach your son to be a man? And then they have this mindset, I don't need no man. But I bet you if you hear something in the middle of the night and you got a man in the house, you want him to go check it out first. And women need to understand the order of operations. The children belong to the women belong to the men, and the men belong to God. We are not equal to you guys. God made you first. And he realized, hey, man cannot live alone. He needs a helpmate. And they're scared of that. I mean, that's where, oh my God, I'm not going to get married. You know, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. You're supposed to help your husband. You're supposed to be there for him. You know, the man goes out there, especially the black man, they go out there and fight the world. They go out there and fight the cops. They go out there and fight their friends. And then you got to come home and fight too.
But I got to jump in here. I always say that. It's like, look, me, I always say that. As me as a black man, I'm like, I got to go out there and fight everybody. And then when I come home, I got to argue with you too. Nah, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. Now, some people think that's
okay. One place where.
Exactly. Like, your home is supposed to be a sanctuary. So you have your lady or your wife at home is supposed to be a sanctuary. It's supposed to be your peace. So when you come home, everything is calm, quiet, and stuff like that. But you don't want to come from arguing or fighting all day at work or fighting the world and then come home and you got to fight again.
Exactly. And you're fighting because that's all they saw. That's all they grew up on. That's the and I hate to bring this up, and it is a realm of reality, but the black woman syndrome, the angry black woman syndrome, that's a real thing, guys. There's a documentary.
It is. I know that. Yes, it is.
About that. You know, and I get a lot of flack, and I don't care. I've got a lot of flack all my life, because when you grow up biracial, you get discrimination from both races. My dad tried to teach me that I have the best of both worlds, but I had to teach him I'm fucked in the best of both worlds, because one group accepts me, the other group doesn't. I get discriminated. So it's hard. I get it. But at the day, you can't get mad at these passport brothers who are leaving because they're tired. They're tired. They're tired of the arguments. They're tired of compete. Women want to compete. We are not equal, ladies. We are not equal to them. Feminism lied to y'all. It really did. These kids without fathers is not good. Men bring structure. Men bring discipline. Men bring a certain kind of calmness, because we're emotional creatures, and we don't get, men know that. Which the best way to learn about men is to ask a man, but most women make the mistake of asking women. Why would you ask a woman to know about men? What would she know? Okay, I'm a woman here talking about, but I can honestly sit here and tell you I've been around enough men and done enough surveys and had enough conversations, grew up with a daddy and uncles and cousins and always had men around. I was that chick growing up where you had a crew and she was either dating a guy from the crew or she was dating the whole crew. Okay. And I listened, and I was the one that was just dating the guy from the crew. Okay. Let's make that clear. But I sat there and I heard a lot of conversations. And you guys have so much to say, and you'll talk all your shit at the barbershop and on the basketball court and whatever. But why do us women make it so hard for men to come and talk to us? It's crazy. And one of the reasons is because if a man shows vulnerability, they're showing weakness. And if they're showing weakness, they're going to throw, a lot of women throw that shit in arguments and this and that. And that's why y'all shut down. And again, this is why I'm the one turning the mirror on women and saying, y'all messing up. We're messing up. We're messing up. We're messing up our men. We're messing up our children, because at the end of the day, It's all about the kids. Kids deserve to grow up with a mother and a father. It's detrimental to their development. They need both. This every other weekend, summers, every other holidays. Yeah, it may work, but you have to have two amicable I mean, that's a whole nother show, co-parenting. Because the things that people do, and I can't just blame them, the things that people do to hurt each other and use the children as pawns it's no bueno. No bueno.
Yep.
You know?
Like, oh, you can't see your son
You
and
guys
your
have
girlfriend here.
anything else to say?
About what you just said about them, like women, like, oh, the co-parenting thing. You can't see your son if you're around your new girlfriend, or I don't want them with you when you're over there trying to dictate who you can bring your son around. Like, it makes no sense. If I have my new girlfriend and I want my son to meet her, there should be no problem with that. She's a part of my life. She should have some type of contact with my son the same way I have contact with her kids, because we're in a relationship. And whether you need that mother figure when you're over here or you need that father figure when you're over there, they just don't allow it. Oh, you're not gonna have my baby around all your little fleazy. Go ahead, Grace.
And that's another thing. I think we need to do a better job of vetting who we're having children with. And that's why I say to you guys, protect your seed and protect your last name. But I get it. There's a lot of bait and switchers out there. They're perfect the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then they switch out on. But we have to learn to recognize the red flags. But we're not even taking the time. We're not even taking the time to do that anymore.
Well, I think that well, one,
Really?
there's let me say, one of the things that I do believe is that a lot of people are products of toxic relationships or a toxic upbringing. So clearly they didn't see a loving mother and father. So a lot of times that translates into what their relationship is. Now, some people, they overcome that. Other people don't. I had a friend of mine who, she grew up seeing her mom being abused by her father and wound up marrying a guy that did the same thing. And one day she wound up telling me that how, because she admitted to me, because she saw her dad abusing her mother, she thought that was part of being in love, right? So that's what she grew up seeing and thought that was part of being in love. Yep. But she wound up finding out that that was completely false. You know, so I think it's important that, people, if they know that they're not, I guess, in a healthy mind state or what have you, then they need to work on themselves before they bring someone else into their life. But we're at a time where you get a lot of people now that they don't care, they don't want to take accountability, they don't want to take responsibility. The attitude is, oh well, if you don't like it, then so what? And here's the other thing. Some of these women expect a dude to tolerate this shit. And no real man is going to do that.
Yeah, because they got a vagina.
No real man
they got to think that
that
their vagina is
it rules the world.
That's the most thing that's walking among this earth is vagina.
It rules the world,
but
literally.
Vagina has started wars, has made empires fall. I mean, it's got power. But as young men have to learn, and I taught my son all the red flags. I kept it real with him. I kept it so real with him that he don't take no shit from no female. I told him women can be liars, manipulative, deceptive. They'll use you. They'll use you for your resources, and they will only do what you allow them. Don't be misled by the little head. That's what I tell him. I mean, no, right now at 16, his hormones are raging. He's not really, he's hearing me, but he's not listening to me yet. But I've already planted that seed, and I've grabbed him since he was 6 years old, talking to him like this. I give him scenarios like what would happen. Like I tell him, when you go to a girl's house for the first time, keep your keys in your pocket and your cell phone. And don't take your shoes off. Don't get too comfortable too quickly. Be quick to call 911. And remember, you're black to deal with. She starts acting crazy and whatever. You got your keys in your pocket, your phone. You could just simply get up, excuse yourself, and get out. Get out. Jordan, when you walk into a room, women are you're not going to ask for respect. You're going to demand it. You're 6'4",
By the way you
you're
carry
good
yourself.
looking, please don't think you are. You guys, you're worth more than they're trying to get at you. Remember that. They're trying to get at you. You got a job, you drive a nice car, you got credit cards because mom put you on the credit cards as authorized user. You're gonna have an 830 credit when you're 18. Nah, I'm preparing you to be somebody's father and somebody's husband. Why?
That's right.
Because that's what I saw growing up. That's what I saw growing up. And I had my kid late. I was 31 because I knew I wasn't ready yet. I knew it. I wasn't going to bring a child into this world. And then I married the man that I had a child with. I rectified it. But it's funny that my own son, we talked about this topic and he'll tell me, but you see, mom, you did everything right and y'all still broke up. You see what I'm saying? They still look at you. It didn't work. That doesn't mean marriage works. I said it worked for 11 years. 11 years is better than nothing. Get an opportunity to have a dad. Go play ball with him. Get on him. So it's like, come on, lady, better. We got to do better for our kids because you can't sit there and complain to your girlfriends, men ain't shit, and then turn around and raise the same men that you complain about and say they ain't shit. I mean, come on, it's an oxymoron. Guys, I'm going to try one more time with these videos because I'm trying to get these videos up. Give me a minute because I'm up on this. Hold on. Okay. Chrome. Let's see. What am I going to pick? One. Okay, this.
Making fun of anybody going through anything. I'm not making fun of anybody being able to find somewhere to stay. But the bottom line is this. We all are adults. And the black community is single motherhood. And why is single motherhood an epidemic? It's simple. The government keeps incentivizing you and paying you money in order to be single mothers. And now they're pulling a rug from up under your feet. And I love that because we are adults. If you want to run around having fathers, babies, don't know who the daddy is, oh, well, you're going to have to figure your own life out. If I want to go out here and become irresponsible as a grown man, I keyword pay for my decisions. And for too long, ladies have been able to just run around like little children, just left and right. And here's the government paying your food stamps, giving you a check. It's over. You now are going to have to live with your decisions. And I use it because some of y'all are living on the street. And I'm not making fun of it. Understand. You think you can live a whole life government or either have it so you can live off the government and you think this is going to happen forever? You are grown. I know there are men who are on Section 8 but the number one reason why I'm here is to help in the single epidemic. You ever want to know why I do these videos, why I coach women, why I do it specifically to end the single mother epidemic? That is the number one thing that is hurting our people. And my fatherlessness. So all of you ladies who've been enjoying getting incentivized by the government, getting paid to be single mothers, it is over. You got to figure something out, get you two little child to your mama's house or go move with your mama. You ladies are adults, just like we men are. Y'all want to be equal? Y'all want to be independent? Want to be single? Have at it. because you no longer are going to be able to depend on the government. And this is what's crazy. The government isn't taking away Section 8. Landlords are no longer accepting Section 8. So it's not really the government that's taking away your little baby money. It's the landlords that are making a conscious decision to not let Section 8 people live out in nice neighborhoods where hardworking families, I know you probably never heard of the word family, which means a husband, wife, and children, husband, wife, and children, husband. We're no longer incentivizing you to have more fatherless babies. No, you got to get it out the mud just like the rest of us. You know why this is important? Because there are millions of young women out here who don't have children yet that are slowly getting talked into, hey, all you have to do is have a child in Section 8. Not anymore. So those millions of young women who don't have children yet, it's important for you to see this. If you want to end up like these older women out homeless, looking crazy with her little 2-3 kids, and she don't know who the father is, therapy, and find a husband. Get some therapy, a husband. Get some therapy and find a husband in that order. Don't be like the rest of these women. Let these women trick you on the streets. See, in the hood, they used to say, you ain't going to trick me off the streets, which means you do something crazy and then you go to jail. Young women with no children, do not allow these miserable single mothers trick you on the streets with all this independent women stuff. Get you a man, let him fall in love with you, have a baby with him, break up with him, and next thing you know, you got all this money. I am here to help the young women who have not already ruined their lives yet to actually focus on getting married and settling down and starting a family the right way. And I'm here to let y'all know that it's not just me that is sick of this single motherhood mess. The rest of the city is sick of it. Get you some therapy, find your man, get him to marry you, and do things the right way, or end up homeless, period. Stop having fatherless babies. Require marriage before you have a baby, or face the consequences. You and your little fatherless baby are going to have to just get out here and figure it out just like everybody else. We ain't feeling sorry for you no more.
Okay. So you guys are the hero, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And I agree with them completely.
Give up. It's some good stuff. And that's Mr. Let Go. I like him. I like what he stands for. The only issue I have with him is he generalizes too much. And I don't like that, because he says certain things and then that includes me, and I know I'm not like that. But that's okay. Even how I feel, see how I try to differentiate? That's how I feel about him. But at the end of the day, logically, and that's why I respected him and wanted to use his work on this, because he's keeping it real. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I keep something clean? Give me a second, guys. Uh-oh. Hold on. Can you hear our video playing, or is it just me?
Just you.
Can you? Okay, it's just me and my. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna try to sneak in another video, guys. I'm excited because I worked hard on this. So hold on, let me see.
I really like what that guy said in that video about if you want to be single and do it by yourself, don't rely on the government, because you push your significant other away in an aspect, and now you want to sit there and use the government to take money from him either way.
Got one loading. Give it. I don't know why they're loading. Oh, hold on. It's coming up. That's why you guys, you can't give up. You cannot give up. This is a good one too. Hold on. I gotta make sure.
Ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but young mothers are running out.
That's Mr. Angry Man.
Say it ain't so. You mean to tell me they might actually have to pay their own bills? Or having babies will no longer be financially incentivized? Or that they might have to value relationships, marriage, and the family unit? Sounds good to me.
Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but I'm about to say it anyways.
Yep.
The resources for young mothers are running out.
Yep.
Oh
Absolutely.
no.
Hold on, let me
Say it
get
ain't
it.
so. You mean to tell me they might actually have to pay their own bills? Or having babies will no
Okay, so we got that out the way. So do you guys see how I'm together? And not just me speaking here. I want my audience and my subscribers. And by the way, guys, let's get the light. I don't have moderators yet. I'm not that, sophisticated yet, but I have to moderate my own shit. So guys, let's make sure we like, subscribe, and share, and support the channel. There's a ticker there. I'm not a pusher for monetary yet, because I gotta pay my dues first. I got to put in the work. I can't even ask for that kind of support. Just by you guys chiming in, liking, that makes me smile. Now the monetary, that makes me smile. The- Hold on, I'm gonna try one more video, guys, because I'm on a roll. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see. What's the share screen? Share screen. Anybody on the line, please feel free to go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and share. I would really appreciate it. He's Hold on, guys. I'm gonna try one more time. Okay, here we got a good one. Here we go. It's coming. This is a pretty good one. I guess not. But anyway, that's okay. It is what it is. Can you guys hear that video? Or is it just me?
That's you.
Hold on. Let me this is a good one. I gotta get it out there. Share screen. It's probably my internet. I got just too much going on. He made a video, Mr. Lego, about when Kiki Palmer made her big announcement that she was pregnant. He was pissed off about that because here we have a high profile actress who has millions, thousands of people following her, and he feels like she's promoting single motherhood. We spend thousands of dollars on baby showers, but we ain't got a nickel to rub together for them to go to college. You see how our logic is backwards? We won't celebrate a friend with a new business, but we'll celebrate a girl that's having a baby with no dad. And I even think the churches are guilty of this. We need to shame more. We need to shame more. Remember back in the days when somebody got pregnant, they got shipped off and they went and went through their pregnancy, had the baby, and came back, and supposedly that's the auntie baby, but we all knew whose baby that was. We don't do that anymore. We
Yeah.
don't do that anymore. We put the single mothers in the front pew at church with 3, 4 kids, 2 different baby daddies, and we've removed God out of a lot of the things that we do in life, and that's why, excuse my language, it has went to shit. We need God with everything. Everything is possible with God, but I mean, I don't know if you guys are woke and see what's going on right now, but God was taken out of school. God was taken out of work. God was taken out of everything. And but on is on that money, and God we trust. Guys, I wasn't able to show all my videos that I wanted, but you guys got the idea of what I'm trying to get out there and relay. If you guys again want to go check out Mr. Let Go, he's He's awesome. I like a lot of the things that he has to say. Then I had JVJ there from the JVJ Network and JV Let's Talk. I also had Angry Black Man. I want to give a shout out and give credit to where do. You know, I'm the type of person that I always ask permission to use a person's content or let them know that I'm using it. You know, so they can come. Like with you, Truth, I was going to use yours, but instead I reached out to you. I said, let me see if he embraces the grace. You know, let me see if he reached back out, and he did, and he's on here. And hey, you know, your subscribers are looking at this, my subscribers are looking at you, and we each building up each other, and we're still trying to get that message out. And that is my point. Trying to get the message out and uplift other podcasters that are trying to do and say the things that we're trying. Mr. D, you know I have the utmost respect for you, your knowledge and your wisdom, and that's why I invited you to come on this show, because I knew you would bring that perspective. And Matthew, you see, you were a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting you to come on, and I appreciate you telling your story, because again, it's gonna take y'all men to fix this mess. Y'all allowed it. Y'all allowed it. And that's why I keep saying, take back the head of the table, your position as the kings that you are. You've allowed too much bullshit, too much shit to slide. And now we're slipping and sliding in some bullshit.
And it's a hard track to get back on.
It is. It's going to be a lot of work for you guys, because the child support system is built for the woman. And remember, the government makes money off of child support. So why would they put it 50-50? Why would they give you guys the kids when the mothers are on Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid? It's a vicious cycle. And one of the easiest way we can really end this, again, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it again, stop spreading your seed. Protect your seed and your last name.
Wait till marriage.
I'm hoping y'all men push mandatory DNA. My son will not sign no birth certificate until I see the DNA. I don't care if he's yes or no. I don't care if he's married. I want to know if that's my grandbaby, because I am not about to pour all this love and energy and money into a kid that's not of our family bloodline. And I'm gonna stand on that. And he knows it. I want a blood test. Well, Mom, what if she's my wife? I don't give a shit. Married people cheat too. And then, like Matthew said, he would be stuck paying for that child, even though it's not his, and I will be damned. So you know what? No. So protect your seed and protect your last name. And women, protect your womb. Y'all giving it out like candy on Halloween. Come on, man. And then you know the funniest thing, and I'm gonna close out. You have 4 kids from 3 different baby daddies. Now you're 33 years old, and you look up and you expect this man to come clean your fucking mess. And then on top of that, not only are you supposed to clean your mess, but you have to be 6 feet tall. You have to make 6 figures. You have to be college educated. And what the fuck do you bring to the table? Oh, I am the table. Please. I hate when a woman responds that way. I am the table. Honey, do you know how many tables there are right now? They got round tables, square tables, diamond tables. Come on, babe. You got to do better than that. And that's how I try to talk to these ladies. And I try to teach y'all men. And I just hope that if I can reach one person, then if one person can just embrace the grace, then I've done my job. So with that, I'm closing out. We're going to go around the panel and close out. Once again, let everybody know where we can find you one last final time. And then we're going to close because we're hitting the 2-hour mark. I knew it was going to get good, but you know, a lot of people's attention span is not that long. And I wanted to count for something. So Mr. D, I'm going to give you the floor and closing out. And don't forget to say it again where we can find you. Okay.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to thank Grace for having me come on the show. Definitely a great topic. Y'all can find me on Boardwalk Global Media. We have quite a few podcasts. But the main one that I do is Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's called The Real Discussion. It's The Real Discussion with Rock Logic featuring Gary Fack, Robin, and DOA. We have a lot of heavy topics. And one of the things that we always talk about is relationships. So what Grace was talking about here tonight and what we was discussing, definitely right up our alley. But every Friday night, 8 to 10, catch The Real Discussion on our Boardwalk Global Media YouTube page, on our Facebook page, and I'll pass it back to Grace. And thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Mr. True. Go ahead and close out on your final thoughts and let people know again where we can find you.
Great show overall. Thank you for having me. I could be found on YouTube, same name, TREU, TABLE, True Table. Try to broadcast at least once a week. Same Instagram. And most of my topics are centered around relationships, men's development, things of that nature. Just want to continue to move the conversation forward. Thank you for having me. Anytime you need my help, Grace, you know how to reach me. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You see, I need technical help, and I need to make a nice intro. But again, I was so caught up in making sure that everything was so perfect that it took me 2 years to start my YouTube channel, and then I finally got the honor of talking to Mr. Kevin Samuels. And after that conversation, that's when I started my YouTube channel, even though I don't have cameras and all this. But I'm here now, and that's what matters. And Matthew, I better find you in the courts and trying to raise awareness. Go ahead and just, close out with your final thoughts. And I'm telling you, Matt, make your story known so more men can learn and think about who the hell club they shooting. I mean, I don't mean to be so graphic, but it is what it is. I got to bring it down to the level where they can understand. They're not so discreet anymore. They got it, they in Cardi B era.
Keep it 100%. You got to keep it 100 with everybody at all times.
Exactly. So you have anything else to say? Anything else to close with?
I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come and actually be on your show and meet you two wonderful gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Because some of the stuff you guys said actually is clicking in my head and helping me out some with the situation that's going on with the single mother pandemic. It's going to take men to sit there and step up to not let their single mothers be single mothers and to want to care for their seed.
Exactly. So again, you guys, with me closing now, I'm Embrace the Grace. You can find, I am all over now. I am on everything it's either Embrace the Grace or Embracing the Grace. TikTok, Snap, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube. I'm gonna be out here. Y'all ain't gonna have no choice but to do some embracing. Oh, wait a second. We got my boy. Let's talk. I see you want to come when I'm trying to close out. That's what we doing right now. Hold on. This is my boy JVJ. Look, I am so glad you up here. He hates when I say this to him, but he is my YouTuber.
Don't say it.
He
Don't say it.
a lot.
Don't say it. All right.
I did it already. But Jay, go ahead. You got the floor. We ain't going nowhere. You didn't walk in the room. Go ahead, Jay. What you got to say?
Nah, I just want to let you know I've been watching. Mm-hmm. Keep grinding.
You press that like button.
You probably got
press
4
that like
likes.
Button though.
You probably got 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
And views.
So, but what do you have to? I was trying to show your videos.
Did you show it?
What did you say, Jay?
I said, did you show it?
I can't.
You can't hear me?
I tried to. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I think we just got a little delay.
I tried to play your video.
Can y'all hear me?
Some video showed, some video didn't. That's why I had.
Okay, they can hear me, Grace. They can hear me.
Can you pull up your video since you're here?
I don't have access to your
So I
StreamYard.
did try to play some of your videos. Yeah, you do. I didn't. You're still on there, boss.
Ah, shit.
You're still on there. There is a delay.
Yeah, it's probably on
But
my end.
what do you have to say on the topic? Just yeah.
All right,
Come out and get back in.
all right.
That'll fix it.
Can you drop everybody's like YouTube channel in the comments too, so that way we can have them for future reference too?
I don't know how to do that. Would have to be. Can you guys put your YouTube channel on the comment section, gentlemen?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do mine.
Okay, let's
Thank
see.
you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, is there a delay? Can you hear me right after I finish a sentence?
All right, well, here, check it. When I get done, say 1.
1.
Damn, it's a delay.
Okay, so just go ahead and say what you have to say on the topic, and just bring your videos to life.
Well, I don't know which ones you covered, but yeah, I preach accountability. That's for men and for women. And if it was the one I think you was talking about, that's just life. Is it just life or something like that? Life just happens.
Yeah, I
No,
use that one. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I use that one. You said life just happened that you let the guy. Yeah, I tried to use. Did you guys hear that one that I played, gentlemen?
I didn't hear it.
Were you able to? No. But go ahead and.
Well, here you go. Check it. Yeah, it's a little delay, but here I'll talk. I can figure it out. I did a video about a lot of ladies coming to the comment sections and stuff and say life just happens, and I really hate it when I hear dudes saying life just happens, because life just don't happen for nobody. We all grown as adults, and even if we was teenagers, we knew right from wrong, and we made conscious decisions about what we did. Life just didn't happen. Life ain't did nothing to nobody. What we done did to our lives. So the video was pretty much just telling this lady shut the fuck up, because I don't know what the hell she was talking about, man. Like, she's coming over talking about life just happens. Nah, you knew what you was doing when you laid down with that dude, and you already knew you ain't telling him to put no strap on. Now I can get on him all damn day long like everybody else does all the time. He got her pregnant. Okay, whoop de whoop. He did do that. Now she let him make her pregnant. Can we get on some of that shit? And if we figure out how to hold accountability across both sides, I think we can fix some shit. But yeah, that was just talk shit. Some old lady talking shit. I don't know where the fuck she from.
Exactly. So life doesn't just happen. You make your life happen, and the decisions that it's how you act. But again, Jay, I was preaching all night. The two most valuable thing a man can give a woman is their seed and their last name, and y'all need to protect it. But I'm here to try to teach the young ladies, and you guys are here to try to teach the young men. So because remember, when we know better, we do well. We're supposed to do better. I guess I should put that operative word in there. We're supposed to do better. That don't mean, because hey, a lot of people know better, and we still, but we're human. We make mistakes. I could see you having one kid, but then when you come and tell a guy, oh, I got 4 kids with 3 different men, and you get mad because he's looking at you like you crazy. You are crazy. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to the children? But I'm not gonna get back all in, because we were wrapping up, Jay, when you decided to join the party. But I'm still glad you came. You got the last round.
I just wanted to come in here and fuck
People
with
know
you.
where
I
they
saw
can
you wrapping
find
up.
you, Jay. You're on there. Find you. Christopher
y'all
says
come
we
over
got bad
to.
internet in Alabama and Georgia.
Nah, she just got it in Georgia. But either way though, y'all can find me over on Let's Talk with JVJ if y'all down to like my channel is just basically about accountability. And we talk sports too. We got sports talk tomorrow, man. It's gonna go down. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so gentlemen, I'm gonna go again. I thank each and every one of y'all for your support, for your engagement, for your participation. My chat group, Nunu, you keep messing around, I'm gonna have to make you a moderator. So that's 2 weeks in a row. You make it, or you're gonna get that wrench because I need some. And did you drop your YouTube? True, Gary just did. He dropped his. Go ahead and drop yours for Matthew. Everybody go ahead each other because all we're trying to do is to get everybody to do better. That's it. So we have a better life, better world, and a better quality of life. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate y'all embracing grace. Check me out and go ahead and don't forget the like button. Okay? Have a good one, guys.
Good night.